21-year-old living with cerebral palsy, and I upload new videos every Monday and Wednesday, all about my life with cerebral palsy along with disability awareness video. So if you like new topics, please hit the red subscribe button down here and stay tuned for this video. Today I have my right?
Lester.
Yeah. And we are going to be talking about care home and autism and all that. So if you want to hear about that, stay tuned, turn on subtitles. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Lester Furstenberger. My son Jack has autism. He's 29 years old, and he lives in a group home in Boston and has lived in the Boston area his whole life.
Nice. Yeah, I got this idea. I recently did a video about disability and adulthood with a disability advocate, and he was kind of talking about the group home situation.
Yep.
He didn't know if I would like to do that in my long term, obviously not right now.
Yep.
I'm with my parents at the moment, but so I wanted to learn more about it.
Sure. So the autism's, different than CP, obviously.
Yeah.
Jackie has, we found out Jackie had autism at a very young age. 2.5 or 3, we found out the diagnosis. And it's a lifelong diagnosis as a CP.
Right.
And so he lived with us for the first 14 years.
Wow.
And so just lived in our home. He went to school every day, year round. He had an IEP. It wasn't, we were able to get him into the New England Center for Children, which, is in Boston area, Southborough, and it's, among the best places in the world to go to.
Is it for people with autism or?
Exclusively autistic kids.
Wow.
Or on the autism spectrum.
Wow.
So he was in the first 3-year-old class in 1996, I guess. And then he went there till he was 22 years old. At 13, they started suggesting to us a group home, and as parents, you're very hesitant to do that because it's your child and you want to be able to take care of them.
Right.
But it became apparent, and at least for me anyways, it was clear that you as a parent can't help but try to do everything for your child. And the group home environment did force Jackie to do more things on his own, because I wasn't there to make it easy for him.
Yeah. I think that's important for the parents to realize, even for me, with having my parents here, I rely on them so much. But as I got older, I realized that I need to start doing what I can on my own. And so I can imagine having that environment was really helpful.
It really did, and there's, just some of the difference between CP and autism. There's a cognitive abilities difference. So, you have your wherewithal about you. Jackie isn't as much, he's very smart at certain things, but, you recognize danger. Jackie doesn't recognize danger.
Right. Okay. So, we kind of answered the first question. So my second question is, so you already explained what a group home is, but what are the benefits of living in a group home and what are some downsides?
Well, I'll start with the downside first. It's hard to be away from your loved one. It's not,
Right.
Imagine not being in the home with your parents every day, and same thing for them, with you, them not being around you every day. It's just very hard. And
Right.
but the benefits are the independence that Jack gains. I mean, Jack, living in Boston, he still goes to school 5 days a week, even though he's 29. And it's just it's a great program that supports so many, learns life skills every day.
It's like a vocational thing.
It's vocational, but he's still learning language skills. So he doesn't speak like you and I are speaking, but he certainly can communicate and has a full range of emotions and all of that, and can express his wants, desires, and dislikes. But the independence that happens there is one of the benefits here, I think. I mean, like your parents living with you and caring with you the full time, there's a need for respite. Here it's the reverse.
Yeah, but right now I'm in the process. I'm 21, looking for more PA reports to come into my home. So I need respite, and he needs family sometimes.
Correct, and it's kind of reversed. So, Jack lives in Boston. I lived in Boston and New Hampshire for many years. So I'd come down every week and see him, either for the weekend or during the week, and his mom would do the same. And now it's in your case it's reversed, and so that's the benefit is the care. So he has wonderful caregivers. They're trained by the state. They participate very closely with us as a family. They really care and take care of Jackie.
Right, and then you don't have to worry about who it is. We worry about who we're hiring.
Yeah, so the state actually hires, or the service provider hires the people, but they become an extended part of our family because they're around Jackie all the time. They know his likes and wants and the other individuals in the group home. There's only 4 individuals in his group home. So it's a very small setting. It's very, they're all very friendly, very kind. I mean, they're exceptional people to do this.
Right. The same. Where am I? The same. I know something or funding for Audi services. Can you explain how that process works for special adults?
Sure. So, and I know Massachusetts has been my experience.
Right.
So Jackie was in the, it goes up till 22 as a minor. So he had an IEP till he was 22 years old. At 22 years old, he graduates onto the federal Medicaid program, but then Massachusetts has, these additional programs for various levels of disability. Jackie, having the type of autism he does, is considered a tier 1 level of service, and so they send him to, as I said, it's a school vocational program, but it still continues to teach him. He's on they use applied behavioral analysis as the approach.
ABA, right?
ABA.
I know that I want monitoring autism, and then
it's worked for him. They teach. ABA basically is they teach things by rote, and then they apply it to different settings. So it's how he's learned to speak, how to ask for things, how to express his wants or dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, that program will go on for the rest of his life now.
Right. Yeah, I know here in Missouri, there's not many programs for me at least. We discovered that the hard way.
Oh, there's not?
Yeah, there's not much funding here for my equipment and stuff, which is sad, but
it is. It's the funding in Massachusetts is excellent, and frankly, it's one of the reasons. Even though I moved to Philadelphia for work, we left Jackie in Massachusetts, and I just go back and forth. His mother lives right there, so she sees him more frequently than I. But I'm up there every month to visit him because it's the benefits are so, exceptionally good compared to the rest of the states in the country.
As a parent, what do you hope changes in the world for adults with disability?
So, I'm very fortunate, and Jackie's very fortunate to have, found out we had this condition, or he had this condition, and we happened to live in Massachusetts because the funding is extraordinary. Funding makes a difference in the quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
That spreading that funding ubiquitously across all states is
yeah, that would be real nice.
it would be really nice, because it shouldn't matter, the fact that we lived in Boston and had that ability to, receive the benefits
Right.
versus, you being here in Missouri and for whatever
I
reason.
can't even get an accessible bathroom. And for me, that's necessary. When I'm home alone, I can't go to the restroom.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yep. I mean, I can, but I can't.
It's difficult, sure.
Yep.
And it should be made as easily as possible. I mean, there's,
And-
regardless of the political spectrum, people, nobody I think disagrees that people with disability should, have as much
Right, and
help
the,
as they can get.
and the income too. The income here is $781.
Is what?
$781.
For what?
SSI.
Oh, really?
Yep. And we applied for that because I'm living with my parents.
Oh,
They
understood.
made me a lower rate.
And so Jackie's different
Right.
because he doesn't get it.
But-
He may get it, but it just gets contributed in.
Yeah, but I'm saying that they need to make the money suitable for everyone too.
Absolutely.
Because if I were to live on my own, 781 is not.
Wouldn't do it.
The rent I would have to pay, the clothes, the food, the everything.
Yeah, no, you would need,
But they literally have to make that number maximum I can live.
there has to be a number that pays, a suitable amount for housing, for food,
Right.
for medical care,
Right.
and then mobility.
Right.
It's whether it's
And
going to work or
yeah.
just being able to get around to go shopping, you
and
need that
they-
wherewithal.
Yeah, but we were in the other video with my disability advocate, we were talking about if I wanted to take Uber.
Yeah.
Or Uber not accessible, but let's say I wanted to, I couldn't pay for it.
Oh,
The-
have you taken an Uber before?
No, never. But
Huh.
I feel a nightmare.
That'd be interesting. I'd be curious to I've taken Jackie in an Uber before, like we went to the ball game in
Right.
Boston or something, but not very often. I just normally drive because it's so much easier.
Right, but I'm saying like I couldn't pay that amount.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it would be too much money.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah, money, but what else to help with different in the world?
So there for situations like your parents, and I'm probably going to do this as I get older. Is I'll go back to Boston, and I plan to move there and move Jackie down by me,
Mm-hmm.
and that blend of benefits, so he can still have all the good things about some of the programs
Right.
and the funding that occurs there to make his life easier,
Mm-hmm.
but also helps me take some of that burden and then still be around him and his family.
Right. Right. Like in-home caregiver, is that what you're saying, or something different?
So no, something like that. There's just starting to explore those ideas. Is it better for him to live in my home? Is it better for him to live,
Right.
one house or two houses down where he has staffing in there,
Right.
but still works on the
That's
farm
what
or does
I'm
whatever?
thinking, yeah, for myself.
Mhm.
Let's see, and then my next question would be, what is the biggest piece of advice for new parents with an autism diagnosis?
So, new parents with autism. So it's a process they go through to obtain the diagnosis,
Right,
and so they're going to be well versed and educated as they're going through it, and so it typically it takes some time, so they're
Yeah.
prepared that it's coming. But the biggest piece of advice I'd have is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and so
Right.
it's a lifelong condition that it changes your life. I grew up in Ohio and thought Jackie would be a football player when he was born, and he's never going to do that. He
Right.
loves the ocean. He loves to swim. So we do those things. It's just, it's each, particularly with autism, individual is unique.
Right. And I haven't met people with any disability as well. What you thought your partner may not be. But they'll probably want to go out in the world and do whatever they do best.
Absolutely. So, Jackie's 6 foot tall, 250 pounds, and it's still, he'll still say, I want you to pick me up. And, it's because it's, what I used to do when he was a little boy, and I can't do it anymore, obviously.
Right.
But it's, there's joy and love in life, no matter who or what or how you are.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because I have my son with autism too, and I think they're kind of the most compassionate people because they don't care what bad things are going on in the world.
No, there's no, one of the interesting things with autism is there's no guile. There's no, what you see is what you get with autistic people, because they don't, they just think in the here and now.
Right, and I think more people need to do that.
It's absolutely eye-opening often.
Yeah, because I have never met so many people who do so many cool things. Like I was telling you before this video, I have a friend who can put a 2,000-piece puzzle together in under 2 minutes.
Oh yeah. Jackie, when he still loves Thomas the Tank Engine and the Little Mermaid, and when he goes on his iPad, he won't type in James Goes Buzz Buzz. He'll type in the 19-digit identifier that's buried in the code somewhere to go straight to the video that he wants. It's just unique to watch.
Yeah, and I don't know, have you seen Following Autism, the YouTube channel?
Say it again?
Following Autism on YouTube.
Oh, I haven't.
His daughter has autism, and he has an iPad, and he's been worse than nobody can.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, Jackie is, very well versed in it.
Yeah, it's unbelievable what they can do.
Oh, it is. It truly is. I mean, that's the thing I say about when I try to explain autism to people that haven't been around it is Jack and some of his peers have a unique ability to focus to the exclusion of all other things. So you and I are talking, and that's in our environment the most important thing going on. But to Jack, that shiny light there or the tree blowing across out the window may catch his attention, and he's able to focus on that to a degree.
Right, that's neat. Yeah, I seen them really homing in on something, and I always wonder what they're thinking.
It is. It's curious to watch. To wonder what the thought process going on is. And the more and more, I've been around Jack all 29 years, and so I have an idea of how he thinks, but I'm still not there in understanding everything.
Right. There's a long way to go.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah. If there was a cure for autism, would you want him to take it?
Say again?
If you can get rid of autism, would you want him to?
To be cured?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really?
I would, because because of the quality of life he, as a non-autistic person, the quality of life he could have had compared to the quality of life he has now. Again, he has a very good quality of life, but to not have cognitive abilities to me seems to be, something that any person would want to have is higher functioning cognitive abilities.
Yeah, you think he knows he might be missing out on things?
I wonder that all the time. That's an interesting question, because I wonder, does Jackie know? Because I talk to him just like I'm talking to you, and he
and you could.
And I do, all the time. It's like, hey Jackie, what do you want to go do? Or, do you like this? And it's I use patterns of speech. It becomes common, and I'll say like, Jackie, and he responds in various ways. It's like, Jack, do you want to go to the movies or go swimming? And I say, we're going to go to the movies. And it's like, no, please don't do that. Or no, thank you. No, thank you. And so he's very polite in the patterns of speech that he's learned. But you know, I'd much rather him be able to say, oh yeah, I'd like to go see, you know, the new, you know, James Bond movie or whatever it is, but he just doesn't get to that level of discussion.
But you can still always talk to them, but they understand everything you're saying.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I don't like it when people talk down to me or others with disability. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, and part of that is, you know, it's different for parents because, you know, we're around it all the time, so we're used to having it. Other people are nervous and scared. It's not uncommon for people who aren't around it just to be nervous about how to act and treat with you. And like, you know, I know you, and I know that I can just, you know, talk to you normal and tease you and do whatever I want, and you'll give it right back to me. Other people would be afraid to do that.
Right, I noticed that.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm out to dinner I went out with Kelly or someone, and they asked her before they asked me when I like to eat. Or like the other night I was at a restaurant and I ordered a drink and I thought 100% this woman looked at me like I'm paying you. You know, I'm sitting at the table ordering a margarita, you know, but they didn't. But I had a waiter directly come up to a friend of mine and ask me if he was my nurse.
Oh, really?
Yep, and what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
He literally said, what was wrong with me? And I was like, that's a little mean. You know, it's not mean to ask what my diagnosis is, but the way he said it was like, what's wrong with you? My mom had that too. And you don't even know what I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you're verbal, you know, Jackie's not verbal, so I often, you know, when we go to the restaurant, you know, the waitresses often want, because Jackie, you know, looks like any other 29-year-old, and they'll ask him to order, and then I'll just, you know, he never orders, or he'll just say, you know, chicken nuggets, french fry.
And that's me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he'll say that. He'll say that, but oftentimes he won't, and I just order.
Right. And does he have an iPad?
He doesn't use it for communication. It's interesting. He's protective about his iPad, so he'll leave it in the group home. Oftentimes, like we go to the beach a lot, or up into the mountains up in New England, and you know when I'm up there for the weekends or the week, and he'll leave the iPad at home, and then you know like he'll get on my phone in the hotel or in the you know Airbnb we're staying in, that kind of thing.
Neat.
Yeah, and he's very snuggly. So he's always at night. He always like because when we were little, you know, he always liked to snuggle with Daddy. And he's still, you know, at 29, comes in, you know, Daddy, I want to snuggle before he goes to bed. And then he'll tell me, all right, goodbye, kiss Daddy, which means I'm supposed to leave his bed and go back to my own room.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I hope this video will help some of you guys. If it was, like it. Leave comments down below and we'll go answer them and hear what you guys have to say. Thank you for being on my channel.
Oh, thank you, Anna, for having me on.
Yeah, it was fun. I always like hearing different views and having conversations